Hello. There we go.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. This is my colleague, Chris Mason.
How's it going, man?
Chris, what's up, man?
What's up,
What's
Chris?
going on?
Not
Welcome,
much.
welcome to our Eye on Foxborough podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love having you. What are you doing? And Rob, where are you?
I'm actually down in Florida right now. Just enjoying the sun, enjoying, the water. I love ocean water. The salt water just makes my body feel good. I feel like it just heals me, and same with the sun. But I'm always back and forth between New England and here. I think I have the best of both worlds. I'm definitely lucky enough to be able to do both. So I'm down here a lot in the wintertime up there. And then I'm back up north all the time when it's summertime up there, because it is beautiful when the sun is shining up in the New England area. There's no doubt about that.
Hmm. Well, we're going to talk about a little bit about your life after football and some events you have coming up, the pickleball tournament. But before we do, there's a million things we could get into, but I wanted to start with the Dynasty. You were in many of those episodes, and I have to tell you, Rob, I laughed out loud when you started talking about draft night. And did Bill actually call you on stage and say, "Get the heck off"?
It actually wasn't Coach Belichick who called me on stage. It was Bears, who was Coach's right-hand man throughout his whole time as head coach. And Bears is a great dude. I love Bears, but he's the one who called me and was like, can you just get off stage? It's a little excessive. It was along those lines, but I thought it was hilarious at the time because I was a 20-year-old kid. I wasn't even 21 yet. I couldn't even drink legally yet. And I was just up there jumping up and down, freaking hooing all over the place, just getting the energy going. Had an interview with Deion Sanders, which was very, very cool. Got to shake their hands with Commissioner Roger Goodell. So just overall, I was just eating it up, living it up on stage at the draft. And I still claim to myself, this is my claim to fame. At the New York City, NFL draft, is that I was the first player ever to get invited to the draft and get drafted in the second round. So it's the first player ever to not, get passed in the first round and be drafted in the second. So, that's my claim to fame, and I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I, for one, enjoyed your celebration. I think a lot of people did. That's a joyous time. But I guess Coach Belichick thought it was, as you said, a little excessive. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was all good though, because I kind of established that I was going to have fun, the second I was drafted. So he kind of understood my personality, and also he did his homework on myself too. So he talked to my coaches, throughout college, my position coaches and everything. So he knew what he was getting into when he drafted me, which was all good. And I would say that's what led to, me being able to be myself as well throughout my Patriots tenure, is because of draft night. It started right then and there that I was going to have a good time and cause some chaos, but get the job done still.
That's great. Well, there were a bunch of elements to the dynasty, and I think a lot of people thought that maybe we would finally find out why Malcolm Butler was benched. Rob, do you know?
I actually have no idea why Malcolm Butler was benched. And actually, from what I read, that the dynasty was going to reveal why Malcolm Butler was benched. I unfortunately haven't watched the dynasty yet. I just got finished with the NFL season being an analyst. I was fresh off football. I've only seen clips of the dynasty. And I'm going to definitely 100,000,000% watch the dynasty, but I'm going to watch it when, I'm ready to watch some football again, when I'm ready for that type of action. So I'm saving it in back of the book for like a rainy day or something to watch the whole entire thing. And I was hoping it revealed why, but of course, once again, I don't think it revealed why Malcolm Butler was benched. And to this day, I still have absolutely no clue why he was, and I'm still wondering why he was. That's the mystery everyone wants to know.
You know, toward the latter episodes and the latter years of the dynasty, you know, it depicted a tough time. I think you might have said mom and dad were fighting, Bill and Tom were fighting. There was a lot of tension. Are you surprised that even with all that, even as grim as it was, that you were still able to win a Super Bowl during that time frame?
It does seem a little surprising with everything that was going on, all the friction that was going on, and we still won a Super Bowl, which is just remarkable. But I kind of feel like all that friction that was going on, you know, everyone wanted to prove still that they had it. You know, everyone wanted to prove that they were the guy. Like I wanted to prove that I was the guy, that I was, you know, a piece of this dynasty. I was a piece of it all. And then same with Tom, same with Coach Belichick, same with Julian. And therefore, everyone wanted to make sure that, you know, personally, you weren't slacking. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't the guy slacking and was getting the blame. Tom wanted to make sure that he was, you know, on top of his game and not the guy to blame, you know, for the fall of the dynasty or for the, you know, reason why we didn't win a Super Bowl that year. So kind of like all that friction kind of made, I feel like, made everyone just step up their game more and more and more every single week in and week out, day in and day out. And therefore, we were putting great performances out on the field, and we were all still working together as a team. Even with that friction going on, when we all hit the field, everything was put aside. And it was everyone came together to be a team and, you know, put the best product out there so we could win a championship. And that's what happened. So in the end, I guess I'm thankful for all the chaos that was going on because it won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I know you get to see life on the outside. You got to play with Tampa. You won another Super Bowl there. But all that being said, would you trade your time in Foxborough for anything? I mean, would you, you know, trade that experience as tough as it was at some points for you?
Absolutely not. I needed that type of experience. I'm so glad I went to the New England Patriots. That fit my lifestyle, that fit my culture. It fit who I am as a person. I believe that I was designated to go to the New England Patriots as well. And I would not change my first 9 years of being, you know, with the New England Patriots. I mean, I was open, you know, arms welcomed by all of the New England fans. No doubt about that. They love me. I love the fans up there. I love the culture up there. I love the Boston culture, Boston strong culture. Just everything about it just embroiled what I represent. And it was just an amazing time. All the championships won. I've kind of needed that structure as well in my life. I wouldn't be where I am right now to this day without Coach Belichick, you know, being tough on myself, you know, and helping me get to the next level, you know, at practice or in a game. So I would never, ever, ever change a thing. And just the friendships I have, you know, throughout that time too, that are going to last forever is something special as well.
Yeah, Rob, one thing you said earlier that caught my ear was that just from draft night, like Bill knew that you were going to be yourself. And a lot of people during that time period came to Foxborough and kind of, you know, were robotic, and you were never really that way. What was the key to, you know, striking that balance and being able to be yourself while remaining so successful there?
Well, the first key was what we just talked about was right from the beginning. I was just being myself on draft night, you know, jumping on stage, you know, doing all that silly stuff, which was a lot of fun. But at the same time, that stuff gets me amped up. That gets the blood going, you know. It gets the juices flowing. And you're actually getting a nice little workout, getting ready for football as well, because football, you know, entails running around, you know, acting crazy, hitting people. And that's what I was doing for celebration. So it went, you know, went right along with each other. But at the same time, to have that type of fun, you had to get your job done. You had to show up every single day. And when I'm having fun like that, it kind of triggered me to make sure I was showing up to work and getting everything done that I needed to in the meeting room and everything done that I needed to on the football field as well. So it kind of brought me to that next level, knowing like, all right, it's not really the culture, you know, everyone to have fun, but if I'm going to do it, I got to make sure I show up so I don't get questioned. Hey, Rob, what were you doing this weekend? You weren't really focused on football. Well, you can't question me because I wanted to make sure I was showing up every single day on that field, catching the passes, doing everything I needed to do at practice, showing up to practice early, leaving practice late once I, get it down what I need to get down if I'm struggling on something. So that was the key, was showing up and performing every single day.
How odd is it going to be? I mean, Patriot fans have gotten used to or had to get used to life without Tom Brady, but now they're entering the phase of life without Bill Belichick. How odd is that going to seem even to you?
It's very odd, actually. It's a different, culture now, different style. And it was very sad to see Coach Belichick go because there wouldn't have been a dynasty. There wouldn't have been, 20 plus years of a winning culture in New England without Coach Belichick. He set the standard. Coach Belichick was the standard. And without him, none of this was possible. There's no doubt about that. And to see him go was sad. I mean, I had a tear. I mean, without him, like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today. And every good thing comes to an end. There's no doubt about that. And now it's time, to flip, the New England Patriots and see where they're going. It's basically they just did a 180 and they flipped it upside down with Coach Belichick leaving. And I think it was for the good. It was for the good of Coach Belichick. It was good for the New England Patriots organization, and it's going to be exciting to see where it goes. I mean, I'm sure all the New England fans are excited to see what Coach Mayo is going to bring to the table, and he's going to bring a lot to the table. He's a very positive guy, very instinctive. When I remember playing with him the first 4 or 5 years when he was on the team, he was a leader. He was our captain on the defensive side of the ball, and he knows the game of football inside and out as well. And I'm sure he knows it even more to a tremendous power ever since he stopped playing, because now he's been in the coaching era as well. And you learn a lot more as a coach studying the film, like 24/7 than just playing the game. So it's going to be exciting. It's exciting for Patriot fans. It's exciting for ex-players like myself to see the direction of where the program is going. And we're all rooting for, the Patriots to get back on track and start winning games as well.
Do you think it's important for Gerard that he's kind of a kinder, gentler coach than Bill?
I think it's important for just Mayo to just be himself. I think that's the number one thing is, to take things that he learned from Coach Belichick, which I'm sure he's going to. He played under Coach Belichick. He coached under Coach Belichick as an assistant coach. So you take things that you learned from not one of the greatest coaches of all time, the greatest coach of all time. But then at the same time, I believe you got to be yourself. You got to do it the style that you feel like you got to do it. The style that you feel like you're getting joy from, the style that you feel like is going to work. Because no one can replicate someone else. So I feel like Gerard Mayo is a guy to do that, a guy that's going to be himself, but also take what he has learned from Coach Belichick as well and implement what he will think will work as well, and bring that type of culture to the Patriots, which is a more uplifting, positive culture as well. That's the type of guy Gerard Mayo is, which is great.
Yeah, so with the overhaul that's coming, it looks like they're probably going to add a quarterback early in the draft. You spent a ton of time with Tom, and obviously there's a million qualities that made him into Tom Brady. But is there one quality just from your time with him that you think a quarterback needs to be successful in this league?
The one quality I would say that a quarterback really needs is the will to win, the will to want to be better. If you got talent and you don't have the will, to want to be better every single day, you're not going to make it. The talent is going to fizzle out. And that's what Tom had. He had the will to want to be better every single day. And if you want to be a quarterback in the NFL for a long time, you got to have that trait.
I think you played against Austin Hooper during your time. What can you tell us anything about him? The Patriots obviously signed him to join Hunter Henry in their tight end room.
Yeah, I think that was a great addition. Hunter Henry, I would say he's going to be tight end number one. There's no doubt about that. He's a starting tight end in the NFL, and he's a very solid player at that position. And then Austin Hooper, I would say he's kind of at the end of his career more, but still has a lot left in his tank. And I feel like Austin Hooper can definitely be used more in the red zone. And you want a guy that can be used in the red zone, because without scoring points, you're not going to win games. You can get down to the red zone. If you can't convert, points, especially touchdown points for 6, then it's going to be a tough year. And Austin Hooper can bring that to the table along with Hunter Henry. There's no doubt about that. And also on top of it, I believe having 2 tight ends is one of the best personnel groups in the game. If you got 2 solid tight ends on the field that can both run and block, it's kind of hard to match that personnel and match up with them.
Yep. I want to segue a little bit into kind of a little bit life after football, but recently Peyton Manning came out and said he wants to hire Coach Belichick as part of his company, and perhaps to do something similar to what he does with Eli. I'm wondering, Rob, how about you and Bill doing a podcast or a game day deal every Sunday? What do you think about that?
I was thinking that Coach Belichick should join the Fox crew. I mean, we're going to have Tom Brady this year as a commentator, which is spectacular. He's going to do such a great job. Then you got myself on the pregame show, one of the greatest pregame shows of all time, led by Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long. Just great guys. Love being on the show and learning from them. And then you also got the pregame show before that one with Julian Edelman on it. So it would be the trifecta is already there with Julian, myself, and Tom, and it's going to be an amazing year this year having us 3. But then adding Coach Belichick to the mix, I was hoping that happens, and it still may happen. He hasn't signed with anyone. It would just be so cool if Coach Belichick joins us on the pregame show, and then we could have some fun from there.
Have you heard any rumblings that might happen?
I've heard some rumblings that he may join TV. I've also heard the same rumblings that he may join Peyton Manning on the Manny cast. But other than that, I haven't heard any true rumblings that it's going to be on Fox. But this is the first rumbling I'm putting out there about it. So hopefully it comes true now.
Has Tom called you for any broadcasting tips yet?
No, Tom hasn't. I mean, Tom doesn't really need any broadcasting tips. I mean, I'm kind of an analyst. He's doing something that is, to another degree. And he's got the knowledge of the game. He's got a lot more knowledge than myself as well. And if there's one thing that I would say to him, if he asked, "Hey, Rob, give me some tips," I would just say, be yourself, Tom. Just go out there and shoot your shot like you do out on the football field. Do what you think is best, for the team. And look how far you got, playing in your career, doing what's best for the team. Now just do that. Take the same mentality, and you're going to do great in that booth, which he will.
Hey, Rob, he's called everybody else. Why wouldn't he call you? Come on, for some advice.
I don't know why. I don't know why he hasn't called me for some advice, because he knows I would just throw something crazy at him.
They're having a big Hall of Fame ceremony for him coming up. Are you going to be involved in that in any way?
Yes, I will be involved in that. I'm super excited about it. I mean, Tom Brady deserves to be in the Hall of Fame faster than any other player. I mean, he represented the Patriot way and exemplified it better than anyone else ever has. And he's the greatest player, not just the greatest Patriot player of all time, but he's also the greatest player of all time in the NFL. So it's going to be an exciting day for Patriot fans. I would say this is going to be the most day that they're looking forward to in quite some years, actually, about 3-4 years. One of the most exciting days it's going to be when Tom goes into the Patriot Hall of Fame. So I will be a part of it. I'm super excited about it. I'm just excited to get all the boys back together, because there's a lot of guys that are coming back in for it. Tom's going to be there, obviously. He's the one getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. But it's going to be a great day, and it's going to be a very, very special day for all Patriot fans as well.
Do you have another one up there you want?
Yeah, I'm There are a lot of people compare Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce to you and Tom and want to kind of put a hierarchy to it. How do you feel about that?
You know, they're great players. There's no doubt about that. They have 3 Super Bowl championships, and I don't mind the comparisons of them comparing, Kelsey and Mahomes to myself and Brady. I mean, they're legendary players. There's no doubt about that, and you don't get to where they have gotten to without putting the work in. So they're a great example to the young generation as well. They're a great example to other NFL players. Because they're putting the work in. And when you're putting the work in, you deserve every honor. You deserve the championships if you're doing it right. So the comparisons, I mean, they're not exactly the same. I mean, everything, we went about it different ways. We practice different, I would say. But just how they're going about it, how they're winning so many games, how they're in it every single year, how they're winning Super Bowls. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm a big fan of the Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, connection as well. And you just got to respect it. They've absolutely dominated, and you can only respect it because they have been just doing great things. There's no doubt.
One more before we get to all your charitable stuff. Mr. Kraft, Robert Kraft, actually came out with saying he thought that you would be the better tight end hookup for Taylor Swift than Travis Kelce. How do you feel about that?
Mr. Kraft is always being silly. He's always being silly, but I'm very happy with being with my girl Camille. She's a sweetheart. She's actually a Patriots cheerleader, so we go down in history. But Mr. Kraft always has jokes, and he's always got silly jokes out there too. So that's just Mr. Kraft for you, and I appreciate his comments. Commenting on my look, saying I'm very good looking. So, because Travis is I would say Travis is a dime piece. He's a 10 out of 10. So if he says I'm better looking than Travis Kelce, who's a 10 out of 10, then hey, what's that saying? I'm like a 10.2.
Of course you are. Of course you are. And you were just named the Grand Marshal of the upcoming Boston Marathon. Do you have to train for that? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to run? Are you going to just be in a car?
No, you don't really have to train for that. Well, technically, I train for it every day because I'm basically in a car every single day. But I start in Hopkinton, and then they drive me all the way through the course, all the way to the finish line in Boston. But it's just an honor, to be named the Grand Marshal. And also, I'm accepting the Patriotic Award Saturday night as well before the Boston Marathon race. And it's just an honor to just receive that award as well from the BAA. So I'm super excited about the Grand Marshal as well because I haven't been up in the city of Boston for quite some time. And I love the fans up there. It's going to be like one of those days when we had a parade. The parades, I would say, were the best days of my life. The city of Boston was just lit. The electricity, just how amped up everyone was. Everyone was just super electric, just throwing beer shots at me. I had to take them and drink them. It's not going to be to that level, but it's just going to be so cool to connect with the city of Boston again. And I'll be able to cut the ribbon to when the first person comes across that wins the race. So I'm excited about it, and it's going to be super cool.
It'll be fun.
Rob,
Chris.
if you had to run it, how far do you think you'd make it?
If I had to run the Boston Marathon, it's like 26.4 miles, right around there, which is incredible. All these people that run it, I just got to tip my hat to them and give them credit because it's just an amazing accomplishment. Even if it takes you 8 hours to finish it, it doesn't matter. You're doing 26 miles in one day. I mean, you're going to be sore for a while and not moving for a while, but just an incredible, accomplishment. No doubt about that. And if I had a race right now, if I had to run it, I would probably say I could do 26 miles, but it would take me a long time. I would probably have to go really slow and walk some of them. But I would say like right now, if I had to jog the whole way, I could probably reach like 7-8 miles right now. without training. And then it would take me about like, to really get to that level, 26 miles. It would take me a couple months to like really train and to be able to do it with a respectful time.
Something I know you trained for was the field goal attempt during the Super Bowl. Rob, you're 0 for 2 now, but I think you might be missing on purpose so you get to do it every year. Tell me I'm wrong.
I wish you were wrong there. I wish you were wrong, but that's the way I'm looking at it now, is that I want a third attempt. I did it on purpose. That's what I tell people. They're like, Rob, you missed again. I'm like, I did it on purpose so I can have kick of destiny number 3. But unfortunately, which is pretty crazy, I was 15 for 15 in warmups. I was drilling every single one. I could hit 40-yarders. And when the time came, when the pressure came, I folded. I ain't going to lie. I folded once again. And good thing I didn't fold like that when I was on the New England Patriots, or else my career would only lasted like 4 or 5 years with them. So good thing I'm only folding on the football field, after I'm done playing and after I'm retired. But I was 15 for 15. I'm not lying. I was kicking everyone right down the middle. They were freaking great kicks. People were cheering left and right like, this is going to be so easy. And the nerves just got to me. Also, Vegas got to me. I was on 2 hours of sleep. I mean, not my fault. It was Vegas's fault. It was the NFL's fault for having the Super Bowl in Vegas. I can't believe that the game even happened, with all the chaos going on in Vegas. But I was on 2 hours of sleep. I still was hitting all my field goals, and the nerves just got to me. And I was ashamed of myself for a little bit, but it's all right. I'm over it. I'm going to bounce back, and hopefully we can do kick of destiny number 3.
Rob, I was just going to say, Rob, if you were a choker, you wouldn't have lasted 4 years. It would have been one game, and Belichick would have said, see ya.
That is correct.
I was going to say, Super Bowl's in New Orleans next year, though, so it's not getting too much easier going from Vegas to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's right, but I'm going to be ready. If we do kick of destiny 3, I'm guaranteeing I'm going to make it next year.
All right, let's talk some pickleball. You have a pickleball party coming up April 9th with Patrick Chung. Tell me something about that. I know the proceeds are going to your youth foundation, Dana-Farber, and the Jimmy Fund. How did this happen, and do you even know how to play pickleball?
Yes, I actually love pickleball. I love staying in shape. I love doing activities. So the first time I actually heard about pickleball, I was definitely interested, and then I tried it out, and it was a lot of fun. No doubt about that. But I love activities like cornhole, volleyball, basketball, just shooting around, just running some sprints just for fun. I love staying active. So when pickleball came about, I got to play, and then, my pickleball journey has just started about 1.5 years ago, and it's been so much fun. And then I've done a lot of charity and fundraisers with the Jimmy Fund throughout the last couple of years, and we get along great. We've had some great fundraisers doing some other things before, and the Jimmy Fund came to me, hey Rob, how about we have a pickleball fundraiser, pickleball for a purpose? And I was like, that's a great idea. I get to play pickleball, and then at the same time we're raising money for a great cause, which half the money will be going to the Jimmy Fund and the other half will be going to the Gronk Nation Youth Foundation, which that money will then be going to the playground that I'm building on the Charles River Esplanade, right there, right when you get out of the tunnel, right on Storrow Drive. So I'm super excited about that playground, which will be finished in 2025. So all these kids have an opportunity to go and play on a brand new playground and just have a grand old time out there, just running around, going down slides. You can do a 40-yard dash as well. That's going to be on the playground. So that's going to be super neat. But then I was like, hey, let's back to the pickleball for a purpose. They're like, all right, this is how it's going to work. So you sign up online as a team of 2. So 100 teams can sign up, and the top 5 fundraising teams get picked. They're the ones that get drawn to come play pickleball versus myself and Patrick Chung. So all the other 95 teams, we're going to thank them, with a signed football or something for raising money that's going to go to a great cause. But only the top 5 teams, and then a one random draw team actually as well, will be just playing pickleball versus myself and Patrick Chung. And Julian Edelman actually heard about this event the other day. So he just joined and he just formed a team with Rob Ninkovich. So actually, we're going to be taking more teams now as well. And Julian's going to be announcing very soon that he's joining. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's pickleball for a purpose. And we're trying to raise money for a great cause, the playground that I'm building and also the Jimmy Fund.
Where is the event, or where are you going to be playing pickleball?
We're going to be playing pickleball at PKL, the arena at PKL. They have a lot of pickleball courts. They're more new. It's in the city of Boston. I'm actually never been there, and I'm not exactly sure where it is, but I just know it's in Boston, and it's called PKL.
Rob, with all these events and things you're doing between, commentating on Fox and all these things, are you enjoying life after football?
Yes, I am. I'm loving it. And it seems like a lot. People are like, Rob, you're everywhere. Like the commercials, you're on Fox, but people don't understand. I knock everything out in like 1 week. Like the commercials, like they take about 2-3 days to shoot, and I shoot them. And then they have like 6 different commercials to pick from, and then they play them throughout the whole year. So it's kind of tricky. Everyone thinks I'm shooting commercials like 24/7. But the Fox thing, what's so fun about the Fox thing is being around the guys, being with that crew. It's like being in the locker room, because that's what you miss most about the game of football is being around the guys, just cracking jokes on each other, just having a good time like that. So I get that feeling with the guys that I'm with, with the Fox crew, with the pregame show. So they're unbelievable, and I'm loving the retirement, and I'm staying busy. What keeps me really sane and keeps me, on the right path is just staying active, because I've been active my whole life. I played sports my whole life. So just competing in like pickleball, competing, shooting 3-pointers versus my friend, going to the gym and working out with a buddy. That's what keeps me on the right track and keeps my life going and happy.
Rob, thanks so much for coming on our podcast. It's always a treat to chat with you, and
Awesome.
Best of luck with all those endeavors. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Great seeing you and talking to you guys.
Take care.
Yes, you too. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.